Hello, this is a short video just to explain firstly what an assignment brief looks like and also to give you some tips on your very first assignment in health studies or sociology. Um, the first assignment is in the unit Gender and Healthcare Roles in Modern Britain, and it's an academic poster which has to illustrate women's unequal status in society. Now, on the first page of any assignment brief, as you can see, a lot of technical data is there. You will be given a submission deadline. You will be given dates that it's issued. If you require an extension, you fill in the appropriate forms. That will be recorded here. Okay, but the first page is generally just generic information for the unit. The second page gives you the assessment criteria. Now, as far as you're concerned, there is no need to worry so much about those. The important thing for you guys is the assignment brief. Now, as this is an ungraded assignment, there are no grading criteria. Normally these would appear here, giving you details of how, whilst you're achieving what's asked of you in the assignment brief, you can also gain your merits and distinctions in various areas. I'll explain that in a video when we get to an actual graded assignment, but for now we'll leave it. For now, however, this is your assignment. This is what you should do. You should design a poster. You should begin by discussing women's unequal status in society and give examples. You will then go on to analyse women's roles as unpaid health care workers, and you should give some figures here to show the difference between men and women, just to see if things are changing, have they changed in the past few decades. Now, you will notice that as you go through your classes on this unit, each class will be geared towards a specific part of this assignment in designing this poster. As this is an ungraded unit and it's your first unit, I'd now show you the kind of thing we would be looking for. So, what you need is you have to design a poster. Now, normally when you think of a poster, you think of a huge thing on a billboard as you're driving past it. This is an academic poster. Academic posters are designed to be viewed on a wall only a few feet away. So if you can imagine a conference room with various posters on the wall all the way around, people go round and read them, a bit like an art gallery. So when you design it, even though you may only be designing it on a Word document, I want you to imagine it being at least 4 times bigger. So in terms of the font sizes, don't worry if you want to use font size 8. You'll be able to get more on your poster, but just imagine it's 4 times larger. So I'll give you an example of what I would be looking for. So this is a poster for someone from last year. They've given examples of gender inequalities. They've given some explanations for those inequalities, and they've looked at informal care, and they've given some figures regarding the differences between men and women. They've also added a few graphics. You should do that as well. I don't just want a sheet of writing. Okay, now if you were to read this, it's by no means perfect. There should be a little section in the bottom corner. You can write it small as you want, but maybe with some references from there where this information has come from, especially the statistics. There are probably a few grammatical errors, but it's just to illustrate the kind of thing I'm looking at. So this was a good attempt, and this particular student, she met the criteria for this part of the unit. Okay, so what I've done, on the Moodle site under the Gender and Healthcare Roles, you will find this brief. you will also find a poster template. Now you can use this. I have obviously not given you an entire poster, I've just put little dots here, and this is where you should be, for instance, giving examples from the UK and globally of gender inequalities. We'll cover these in class. The little white boxes have scattered around, and these are just to show you and to emphasise that you should now and again put a little graphic in your work just to break up the text. So your first section should be gender inequalities. Give some examples. The second section should be explanations for these gender inequalities. Now there are various sociological ones, so perhaps if you do two, a very short summary of two of the explanations. And finally, looking at gender inequalities and informal care. So that's unpaid care, looking after in the main friends, family, elderly relatives, children. So I have arranged this in 3 columns. So I think that would be a very good idea for you to do, because there'll be 3 parts to the poster. It makes sense to do 3 columns. That is basically it. I think this is a relatively straightforward assignment. You can find your own equalities to illustrate your points. In class we'll go through the sociological explanation for gender inequalities, and you can choose which 2 you would like to focus on, and you'll be given resources to look at gender inequalities in terms of informal care as well. So each of these 3 sections you'll have class time to look at, to discuss with your tutor. Okay, so that's just an example there. So I hope that's helped a little. Of course your tutors will answer any questions you like, but this is just something you can refer to at home. Hopefully my accent hasn't got in the way too much, but I'll stop there now. There will be other videos on the Moodle site and through the YouTube channel, and they'll just talk you through the assignment brief. The reason we've done these is because we do get asked similar questions. How should my poster look? What should I be looking at on the brief? The main thing to remember from a brief is address the task here. This is the thing that's most important to you. And the second thing is the deadline date. Now this is a blank copy, so it's not there yet, but that's the 2 things you have to worry about. The deadline date and what the assignment brief is actually asking you to do. When it comes to graded units, the third thing will be how you can achieve those higher grades and in what areas. But as I said previously, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I'm sure you'll all do very well, so go for it.